So you started CPAP therapy hoping for a great night's sleep, but now the machine itself feels like the biggest obstacle, right? Well, you're definitely not alone. In this explainer, we're going to turn all that frustration into comfort so you can finally get the restorative rest you actually need.
Does this whole scene sound a little too familiar? The nightly wrestling match with the straps, those weird hissing noises, waking up feeling like you spent the night in a desert. If you're sitting there nodding along, trust me, you are in very good company.
But hey, here's the good news. All of this is completely 100% normal, especially for first-time users. And you know what? The fixes are often way simpler than you'd think. We're about to walk through them one by one.
All right, let's dive right in. We're going to tackle the top 10 most common CPAP problems and give you some clear, actionable fixes you can try tonight. Here's our game plan. We'll start with just getting used to the thing, then we'll dive deep into mastering your mask, perfecting the airflow, tuning up the machine itself, and finally, we'll build a simple routine to keep you on track for the long haul. First things first, let's just talk about that initial adjustment period. The most important thing to get in your head right now is that getting used to this is a process. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And yeah, the source material is super clear on this. These early struggles are totally normal. It is not a sign that CPAP isn't for you, it's just part of the learning curve. The goal here is just to make small tweaks until you get comfortable and the therapy really starts to work its magic. Now for section 2, and this one's a biggie. We're tackling what is often the single biggest source of problems, mastering your mask. We're going to cover everything from getting the right fit to stopping leaks and skin irritation. So the very first question you have to ask is a simple one. Is the mask itself the problem? I mean, a mask that doesn't fit you right is pretty much the root of all evil when it comes to CPAP issues, causing everything from bad seals to just plain being uncomfortable. It basically boils down to two main styles. You've got nasal pillows, which have minimal contact and are fantastic if a big mask makes you feel a little claustrophobic. But, and this is a big but, if you tend to breathe through your mouth when you sleep, a full face mask is pretty much non-negotiable. You've got to have that seal. Ugh, that dreaded hissing sound in the middle of the night. Air leaks are more than just annoying. They mean your therapy isn't working as well as it should, and they can even give you dry eyes or irritate your skin. Okay, so here's the fix, and this first one is going to sound a little backward. Resist that urge to crank the straps down super tight. I know, it feels like the right thing to do, but pulling them too tight actually warps the seal and can make leaks even worse. Instead, just lift the mask away from your face and gently reseat it. If that doesn't do the trick, it might be time for a new cushion. And hey, don't forget to check your machine's data. It'll tell you if you're having leaks. Okay, this is a really common one. Waking up with those red marks or even sores on your face from the mask or the straps? Yeah, that's a huge, flashing sign that something needs to be adjusted. So here's your 4-step strategy. First, and I can't say this enough, loosen the straps. You're aiming for a gentle seal, not a death grip. Second, look into adding some soft mask liners or pads for extra cushioning. Third, a really simple one, wash your face every night. Getting those skin oils off helps the mask seal better. And you know, if you've tried all that and it's still no good, it might just be time to try a totally different mask. All right, once the mask is feeling good, we can move on to section 3, perfecting the airflow itself. This is all about handling things like a stuffy nose, a dry mouth, or that feeling of way too much pressure. You know how that constant flow of air can really dry out your nasal passages? Well, your body tries to fight back by producing more moisture, and that's what leads to, you guessed it, a stuffy or runny nose. The solution here is pretty straightforward. Add moisture. Your machine's built-in humidifier is your absolute best friend, so make sure it's on and set correctly. A saline nasal spray before bed can also be a game changer. And yep, I'm going to say it again. If you're a mouth breather, that full face mask is often the simplest fix for this. So what if the pressure itself just feels overwhelming? You know, like you're trying to breathe out against a strong wind. That can be incredibly uncomfortable and make it hard to fall asleep. You've got a couple of great options here. A lot of modern machines are APAs, meaning they automatically adjust the pressure for you all night long, which is amazing. If you don't have one of those, no worries. Just talk to your doctor. They can actually look at your data and make a remote adjustment, called a titration, to dial in the perfect pressure for you. Moving on to section 4. Let's tune up the machine itself. We're going to cover everything from noise and weird tubing issues to that simple but very real challenge of just falling asleep with this thing on your face. It's totally normal for this to feel unnatural at first. I mean, it can even feel a little bit suffocating. Getting your brain and your body to accept this new routine is a huge psychological hurdle for a lot of people.
The key here is just getting used to it. So, practice. Try wearing the mask for about 30 minutes during the day while you're just relaxing or watching TV. And you absolutely have to use your machine's ramp up feature. It's a lifesaver. It starts the pressure out really low and only gradually increases it after it senses you've fallen asleep.
Have you ever woken up to a gurgling sound coming from your tube? Or even worse, gotten a splash of water in your face? That is a thing, and it's called Rainout. It happens when the warm, moist air from your machine hits the colder air in your bedroom and condenses inside the tube. So how do you stop it? Well, the number one best solution is heated tubing, which keeps the air warm all the way to your mast. If you don't have that, just insulating your regular tube with a simple fabric cover helps a ton. And another little trick is to position the machine lower than your bed so any condensation drains back towards the machine, not towards your face. And that brings us to our final section, building a proactive CPAP routine. This is all about the simple maintenance that will keep your therapy running smoothly night after night. Look, keeping your gear clean is simple, but it is absolutely non-negotiable for good therapy. Just get into this easy rhythm. Give the mask cushion a quick wipe every single day, do a deep clean of the mask, tube, and humidifier once a week, and swap out those filters every month. Being consistent here makes a world of difference. And please, if you take away one thing about maintenance, let it be this. Do not use tap water in your humidifier. It's full of minerals that will build up as a crusty gunk and eventually damage your machine. Always, always, always use distilled water. So why does all this troubleshooting even matter? Because sticking with it, being consistent, is what truly leads to results. As our source material reminds us, coherent treatment is the real key to enhancing your health and protecting you from all the dangers of untreated sleep apnea. These fixes can honestly transform your CPAP experience, turning it from a nightly struggle into a routine that's actually restorative. So the only question left is, are you ready to take control of your sleep